All these issues, this is like Trump's superpower, finding a bunch of 80-20 issues, getting on the 80, and everybody who's sort of reflexively against him gets on the 20. And now the Democratic Party has like a 31% approval rating.
All right, y'all. Listen, let me be one of the first black women that was a part of the 92 or the 93% that voted for Kamala to come out and just say it. I regret voting for Kamala. I really do. I regret voting for her. Already into Trump's presidency, not even a full month, and this man has already secured borders. He's already signing.
Yes, this is like a movie. Breaking: President Trump revokes Joe's security clearance. Joe, you are fired. When you take a look at this, there is no need for Joe to continue receiving access to classified information. Therefore, we are immediately revoking Joe's security clearance and stopping his daily intelligence briefing. He said his precedent in 2021 when he instructed the intelligence committee to stop the 45th president of the United States, me, from accessing details on national security, a courtesy provided to former president. The House report revealed that Joe suffers from poor memory and even in his prime could not be trusted with sensitive info. I will always protect our national security. Joe, you are fired. Make America great again. Hmm? Libras are freaking out about Dodge. I don't know if they will abandon that and dive straight into this because at this point they don't even know.
All right, y'all. Listen, let me be one of the first black women that was a part of the 92 or the 93% that voted for Kamala to come out and just say it. I regret voting for Kamala. I really do. I regret voting for her. Already into Trump's presidency, not even a full month, and this man has already secured borders. He's already signing bills that are taking place that are uplifting this country. Me not doing my history and really, being investigative and seeing all the things that Trump has done, and now having the eye opener and really looking at this man and seeing exactly how this man works has really put something on my heart. And I don't know what I was thinking going in there voting for Kamala in the first place. I'm glad of the results. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad that Trump is in there, but me being so lost and participating into the whole Kamala run and now taking a step back, looking at how this president here is really running things, and it hasn't even been a whole month, is something that I do think about. So, I advise people that are in the Democratic Party, myself, to do your research. Really do your research, okay? Because I can definitely say that as a black woman, a part of the 93%, I made an error. I can admit that. I can take accountability and admit that.
Yes, within the space of 3 days, this is the 8th person I've seen changing their minds. I said it on one of my videos. People are waking up. Now they see the truth. When you take a look at the whole situation, you can clearly see some were blindsided. They didn't even know what they were doing. Now, Taylor Swift fans are melting down on social media simply because their boyfriend acknowledged Trump coming for the games. I don't know why this meltdown is even going on. I did not want to report this, but I have a couple of videos I'm going to show you so you can see exactly what is going on. A question surfaced to him the other day about Trump. He was excited. Even the view had to react to this. I understand you don't want to see the view, but I'm going to show you something.
That's awesome. It's a great honor. I think, no matter who the president is, I know I'm excited because it's the biggest game of my life, and having the president there, it's the best country in the world, so it'd be pretty cool.
So what you just saw there was a reporter asking Travis Kelce what he thought about President Trump being in the building the night of the Super Bowl. And he said, that's awesome. That's a great honor. No matter what president that we have. It's the biggest game of my life. This is the greatest country in the world. Hey, Travis, do you remember this tweet that Donald Trump put out about your girlfriend after she endorsed Kamala Harris? I hate Taylor Swift. Now, I don't know about you guys, but if my husband were put in that position, he would not have said those things if someone talked about his wife like that. Don't come in my comments and tell me that was a classy answer. It was tacky. It was like the opposite spectrum of classy. Jalen Hurts. Granted, he wasn't asked the question the exact same way, but he answered it perfectly. There are so many things he could have said in that moment besides what he said. Now, Travis is getting asked some really dumb questions about Taylor Swift and Swifties throughout this, press Super Bowl thing.
You cannot convince me that Travis Kelce does not love and respect Taylor Swift. You can't. Just because he said that he is honored that the President of the United States is coming to watch him play in the biggest game of his career does not mean that he does not love and respect Taylor Swift. Donald Trump, the first time the Kansas City Chiefs won a Super Bowl when he was in office in 2019, 2020, he thought they represented Kansas. He also said earlier this week that he is excited about the Super Bowl because he has heard that there's going to be a quarterback there who likes to win. You don't get to the Super Bowl if you don't like to win.
Look, I'm disappointed, but I'm not, surprised. I just think it proves that he's and it proves that Taylor Swift should break up with him. Because if a person is tweeting about you incessantly, if a person says, I hate you, and then your partner says, well, I'm thrilled to play in front of the blah, 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 you need to dump his ass. Because let's just leave politics aside for a second. In a relationship, beef transfers. And that beef is personal between Taylor and Trump. And it should be personal. They should take that personally because the President of the United States has actively said, I hate your girlfriend. And I'm not saying he needed to crash out. I'm not saying he needed to be offended with Trump. I'm not trying to say that he should give an un-PR answer. But look at Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts politely said, no ma'am, next question. And at the end of the day, I do think it's a reflection on his values, not necessarily his political values, but on his money values. He's never going to do anything that gets in between him and his check. That's been proven by the State Farm ads, it's been proven by this clearly fake PR relationship, and it's been proven by his incessant apoliticism in a moment when politics matters, and in a moment when his brother's wife is getting politically attacked by the right day in and day out.
Yes, when I see people who are not mature enough to talk about these topics, I really wonder. I don't know why they are freaking out. They don't even know what it means, politics, because they are people Trump disagree with during the campaign period. Today, they are fine. They're eating on the same table. You, the fan, sitting there grumbling, talking this, doing that, wasting your time. It is crazy to see this happening. They are freaking out because Taylor Swift's boyfriend responded in a good way. It's a simple question. He's a president. Move on. There is nothing you can do about it. No matter how you don't like Trump, he is your president. So, and you have to respect that. Simple as that. Kamala did not win. You're a favorite person. So, Taylor Swift was supporting, went out there, gave support to Kamala, and she did not win. Trump won. So, what are you supposed to do? Support Trump, right? Or you stay quiet?
I think this is a little fishy and shady because what the NFL spokesperson said, that he said the decision was based on sensitivity to recent tragedies, including the terror attack in New Orleans, the deadly wildfires in LA, and the fatal air collision near DC. And I think that those are very noble things to honor and discuss, but I don't know how choose love, and it takes all of us, relates to that. So it seems to me like the end racism probably has a lot to do with the fact that the sitting president is there. And I don't know what everyone at this table thinks, but I don't think racism is over. And I think that it is a very noble thing to want to end racism so that we can become a more perfect union.
Yes, Brandon Tatum replied to this video. The View hilariously can't handle the NFL removing end racism from their end zones for the Super Bowl, and by nobody's surprise, blame Trump. If you see clips after this, that is just for the algorithm. We understand how it works. Please, you can stop here and don't forget to always share the videos.
There is another 5-alarm fire, reversal of policy.
Yeah, it's intense, probably as intense as I've experienced during my time here in Washington, D.C.
The Democratic Party have lied to us about everything.
You know, what's fascinating right now is we're getting a chance to see what happens when you take a business approach to the government.
Are out there pretending to be outraged about the long list of crap that this administration is cutting, federal waste and funding.
The thing that they're most concerned about is Doge engineers with access to Treasury systems. Can you clarify, do the Doge engineers have read-only access in these systems, so they are not allowed to write new code?
No.
They are not, okay.
No.
USA ID has gotten a lot of attention.
Those payments now.
That says it's only been 2 weeks, okay?
Earn money and they want their tax dollars to look like it's helping the country.
And also, I got to say,
don't you agree?
I totally agree.
Essential.
Early on, immediately.
She's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10.
To her.
The EU does not treat the U.S. fairly on trade and that he has some big complaints. Is that true?
Right? And it doesn't mean that we should sit and pretend that it's suddenly okay, that this new presidency is just going to keep on keeping on. That is not the case. And because, final point for me, 1.5 years is because...
This is the United States.
You're talking about a man who didn't become the president of the United States because of merit.
This lady is not unstopped.
Where awful things have happened. So,
and sparks move things. And it doesn't matter how much water you have.
Future president and his gag are
somebody in policy.
The city of the Pacific Palisades is burning. And, I flew here last night. I was on a plane.
You getting water to areas that need...
He's been trained his whole life to do. What do we do?
Right now you're looking straight, remember it.
As a country about January.
Yeah, and then I think all our tax dollars probably went for Gavin's hair gel. I don't know.
Jordan.
In the 5 tenants of
Palisades Village right here. This is the town center of sorts.
And he did this little dance.
Josh Green, the governor of down in Hawaii.
And then we watch news or talk.
Now look, I have a lot of...
So please.
I was being lazy on the couch at like Friday night.
And the Grammy goes to... Fans, I'm always trying to figure